Hi everyone, this is Chrisa Assis, founder and teacher of Bautanz Constructing Dance. Today we're going to be talking about heels. I really wanted to do this video after I received this email that I found quite funny, I have to say, where the email was saying, was from a follower asking if I knew this person who is from Perth, who says you should never be dancing in heels. So I don't know who this person is from Perth. I do know that there is a lot of research and a lot of science and many posts right there on the internet that say how terrible it is to be wearing high heels and how it can kill your body and how they cause discomfort and how it is they are manipulative to the companies who make them manipulate women, because you can actually show that you are a confident woman even if you're not wearing heels, and all this internet psychology. Yeah, so let's not get into that. So I am not here to actually discuss whether it makes you look more confident or it makes you look less confident if you're wearing heels or what have you. What I am here to say is that I really like shoes and I like heels, and if you like them too, the only thing I would suggest is that you actually spend the time to prepare and practice wearing them, because there are two things in tango. One, it is a dance that is danced in heels from women. Two, they do actually look better. So, for me, other people might have a different opinion on the matter, but the truth is they do change the way your center of gravity. So you would need to practice your way there, especially if you really want to wear those high stilettos that do look actually really beautiful. And second of all, they do require that you have strong legs. The stronger your legs are, the better you will be feeling wearing the heels, and you will be more in control because your legs are going to be stronger. So what I do agree with all these people talking about heels is that yes, they might not be the best choice for you biomechanically, but the truth is tango is a dance where women are wearing heels. They do look great, but if you want to wear them, you have to work for them. So what I have here today, and I'm going to move this down just a little bit, is for you to see the different levels of heels that you can have. So this shoe actually, it took me 2 years to actually be able to wear it and have a lot of fun while dancing. I got it because it has some really beautiful colors at the front and the back. It's very colorful at the front as well. So I got it for that reason. It looked great, but I couldn't really wear it and have fun while dancing. Now I can, so I'm really happy about that. This is a shoe that I got many years ago, and I've been very happy that I did. So you can see that there is a little bit of a height difference, and then these are my currently my practice shoes. You can find something even a little bit shorter than this. Personally, I do not like heels shorter than this. I very rarely wear these shoes out dancing, to be honest with you, but they are very comfortable to practice. So, if you never wear heels in real life, start from here. They might not look good, or they might not look as good as these, but the truth is you can't go straight here. You don't even know how to walk down the street with heels, let alone dance with someone. So start from here and build your way up. Now, we're going to see a few exercises that can help us do that, but I want to point this out. It is if you're thinking that heels are bad for you, are not good for your body, I personally believe that it's even worse if you dance a whole night of milonga wearing flat shoes and being on your toes. So in tango, you're supposed to use your whole foot as you're managing your shifts of weight. As when you're standing, you're not supposed to be putting all your weight on your toes. When you're lifting your heels, though, that is a little bit more difficult. It's a little bit more difficult to do if you don't want to be going up and down, or you would have to keep your knees bent. You know, there are other little tricks that you can do so you can actually have some time to put the heel down without your partner noticing. But it is a lot of work. B, it's probably not going to happen. So you're probably going to end up dancing on your toes the whole time. I've done it, and I really think it's much worse than actually wearing a heel like this. So I think it's far better if you wear a heel like this instead of wearing no heel and being on your toes the whole time. It might not look that great as this or this. It's true. So they might not look that great, but they will do the work, and you will be able to put some weight over the heel when you need to. So how do we make our way from a really low heel to a really high heel? And how do we actually go about to choose the proper shoe? So let's get to the second question before we get to the first one and I get carried away with exercises. So a few things that you need to be careful with, because this is something that many people do wrong for whatever reason. So when you're trying out your shoes, and I'm going to turn one of my shoes right here so you can actually see. So as you can see, my toesies have made this elaborate shape on the poor shoe, the poor thing. I've had it for years. I've worn this a lot. So, and as you can see, my big toe goes all the way out to the end. So the thing is, you want to have this comfortable balanced situation where your toes are able to wiggle in the shoe. They're able to wiggle in the shoe, so this strap is not too tight, but at the same time, this strap is not too loose, so your toes will not just go through the shoe like this and look terrible and will be able to support you. So if you can actually find a shoe that supports this part, the part that is right at the end of your toes is right here and is holding your foot tight. I'm going to wear these actually later so you can see, and your toes still have enough room to actually wiggle without slipping through. That is the best shoe. And this is what most people make the mistake with. They think, oh, I want the shoe to be comfortable, therefore I'll buy it a size bigger, and then that doesn't work because there is this flop, there is this gap between the strap and your toes, and then you end up stuffing it with extra pads on the bottom, and then the connection that you have with the floor is much different than what the shoe initially intended it to be. So this brings us to another similar matter. Basically, you don't want your shoe to be like a cast. You want your shoe to protect you from the floor, from the environment, but at the same time, you want to be able to feel the floor as you're walking. You want to be able to feel the connection as you're shifting with the floor, as you're shifting the weight, and I'm talking literally. So no, I don't mean that you buy these these shoes that are really thin, but that's not enough protection. But I'm saying that you should be avoiding shoes that have a lot of filling, that offer you extra support, and that keep your foot off the floor too much. So you want to find that balance of the shoe being actually damaging to your foot and the shoe actually being just there to protect you, but still it's flexible enough for you to actually feel that you are in control of that movement and in control of your connection with the floor. Now, a few other things on how to buy good shoes. I know that Tango shoes are expensive, and especially for the women, they're even more expensive than the men's shoes. And sometimes we say, oh, all right, I'll buy this shoe that looks nice, and it's not that expensive. And if it doesn't turn out to be that great, it doesn't matter, I'll just buy another one. Bad idea. Bad shoes will give you problems, will give you a bad dance, a bad experience. You're gonna hate yourself for buying them. Don't buy them. Instead, if it's an economical issue, just buy one pair instead of buying two pairs. So I know this sounds like a little bit superficial or insane, but it is far better to save up for a good pair of shoes than buy the so-and-so shoes that you're really not sure of their quality. So better off having one shoe. Make it a black one. It suits everything. It matches everything. So nice and simple, and that's it. So the other things you need to be careful with that will define the quality of the shoe. If the shoe has any little bit of a tilt towards your big toe, like so, don't buy it. So any shoe that has too much support, too much filling, don't buy it. Any shoe that has that is too tight at the front, too tight, not allowing your foot to properly move, don't buy it. A shoe that is, and that has happened to me, and that's why I'm telling you from my experience, the shoe was too tight at the front and very loose on the back. So then I had no real control of the heel, not real a good control of my step. It wasn't even a really high heel. It was actually relatively short. So they looked great, but bad idea. So these are a few guidelines for you to pick the proper shoe. Make sure that it's always your size. Don't go for a bigger size for all the reasons that we talked about before. And I'm gonna hop over for a few exercises so you can actually see how you can make your legs just a little bit more ready to go from a lower heel to a little bit of a higher heel, nice and safely. Focusing on making the legs stronger, but at the same time understanding how our hips can move, how they are positioned, how they're moving relatively to our upper body, relatively to our knees, how we need to drive our knees so we can have a correct alignment with the ankle and with the foot that we're stepping on. And these things can actually help you when you're actually going to be wearing the heels. So here we go. So the first exercises are going to be referring to the weight distribution when you're wearing a high heel, a higher heel, let's put it that way, and how that affects the our posture. So we're going to start from the feet, and we're going to make our way up, and this way you'll be able to, wear your new shoes and try them out at home before you actually hit the milonga and start getting a little bit more comfortable with how they change your center of gravity, how they change your alignment maybe just a little bit. So if we see, I'm wearing my shoes that are not that high but not really low. So here we go. Regarding the feet, I'm starting from the feet and we're gonna make our way up. So here we go. So when you're wearing your high heels, you don't want your weight to be fully back like this, so you can actually lift. You shouldn't actually be able to do this when you're standing. Be careful with this when you are standing, but at the same time, you shouldn't be all the way forward like this. I've seen many followers dance in this way. I turn this way. Their heels lifting off the floor or barely touching. The problem that this creates is that it makes your toes really tight because they're carrying all your weight. And this is actually what happens when you're not wearing a heel, but you're wearing a flat shoe and you're on your toes dancing the whole night. So this is not good. Your toes are not there to hold your weight. The toes are there for support. So what you actually need, where you actually need to be is a position where you can wiggle the toes. There's some weight on your heel. This feels a lot better. And you can wiggle the toes, but at the same time feel that they are supporting your movement. So when you're going from side to side, and turn this way so you can see, you should be able to wiggle your toes in the shoe instead of being like this. You see the difference? Being able to wiggle, not being able to wiggle. What does that mean? If I move the camera a little bit further up, you will see how that changes the way that our hips are when we're wearing the heels. So if you have your weight too far forward, this is the position of the body. If you have your weight too far back, so we need to find that comfortable middle. And there we go. Every part, right? Oops, sorry. There we go. So you allow the hips to go back. This will take a little bit of weight off the front of the foot, but your body is still reaching forward and you can still wiggle your toes here. So if you start from your usual stance, if you're always too far forward, great, making your toes really push into the floor and carry your weight, your heels off the floor, you want to actually exhale and allow the hips to sit back. Let them go. Without doing this, you see, like a duck. So no duck, just this. Now I can wiggle my toes. The weight is over the ball of the foot, which is exactly where it's supposed to be. It should not be over your toes, it should be over the ball of the foot. So somewhere in the middle of your foot, and there is some weight on your heel to support your movement. Now, if we move this further up, you will see exactly what I mean regarding the trunk. So regarding the trunk, you don't want, this way, all right. You don't want that movement of the hips to end up doing this to your body. This is not good. Maybe a different dance, I don't know. So this is not good. If you start from here with your toes really cringing on the floor, and you will be feeling it a lot in the back, in the calf, and the quad as well. Your hips will be tight. We want to let that go without though hurting our lower back. So what we actually are going to do is this. Look what happens to my upper body though at the same time. I am not arching. I am doing this. Yeah? You see the difference? Not good? Good. Again, from here where everything is straight, we don't want the straightness, we want to actually allow the hips to move, and you feel that they're moving around your is coming in here, you feel that the hips are moving around it. and this way, because this is actually the shape of your hip. So from here, like so, and not like so. Not good, good. And here you have it, right. So now I can wiggle my toes. I have supports from my heel. My hips are relaxed, they're not tensed, and I can have a good connection with my body, with my partner, without killing my lower back. Yep. So these are a few tips that you can work on your own without having a partner in the beginning, adjusting your weight, starting from the feet, taking your focus on the feet, becoming more aware of where your weight is, and it will be slightly different as the height of the shoe changes. And now let's see some exercises. So you'll make your leg, that will make your legs stronger, and you will be able in that way to more securely manage the shift from a low heel up to a high heel. Here we go. Oh, a reminder, you can do that, the sequence as I'm showing it here, or you can do one exercise. It's up to you. If you're just starting with this, maybe one exercise is a better idea if this is your first communication with your active self. If not, and you know your way around, you've done this before, maybe you're going to the gym, maybe you've done some yoga classes, what have you, I don't know. So if you've done this before, you can do, and you feel good, you feel strong enough to do the whole sequence like I'm doing, go ahead, add repetitions if you want to, or remove some. I think I'm doing like 8 for every exercise, so you can do more or you can do less, up to you. Have fun. and that's it. All right. So that could be a sequence that you do. You will feel it. You'll definitely feel it. But it's something that you can do anywhere, in the house, in the gym, anywhere with a little bit of space, and you will actually feel that your legs and your balance and other things are getting a lot stronger, and you're becoming a little bit more confident. With all these exercises and many, many more, is that you can actually systematically organize your progress by anchoring tango and things that you need for tango, like wearing nice pretty heels, to things that you already know, or to things that you already do, or to things that you're more familiar with, like yoga or any type of fitness, or other activities, like maybe you're taking a walk, or you're using the treadmill, or you're doing something like that. If you focus on discovering important, essential tango elements, like your walks, like your posture, like the rotation of your spine, something we will be talking about very soon, and you try to find these things into activities that you already do, your progress will be faster, because you will be discovering things and then bring them into your dance, and so on and so forth. So if you want a course that actually does that for you, I will be actually having a launch of Intelligent Tango very, very soon. But before I launch it, I want you to actually go to Bautanz.com under programs and courses and take a look. So what I've done in Intelligent Tango is that I've deconstructed tango down to the essential elements, things that if you get good at, you're off for the races: posture, walks, ochos. And we are going to be getting into them and getting better at them from various perspectives. So yes, through tango elements, of course, through using the element of the embrace, using yoga, using other activities, anchoring them to other activities, using our breath, using embellishments, using even enrosques. So all of these, though, you will learn, of course, how to do them, but at the same time, you will be understanding all the other movements that are essential for tango through them. So what is left for you to do after the deconstruction, the tips on how to select, the tips on how to set up your practice, all of that is given to you through guides. You have to actually put in the work. So if you're interested in a course like that, a course that allows you to construct the dancer you want to be on the dance floor, but at the same time gives you all the support and all the guidelines that you need, go to Bautanz.com under programs and courses, and you'll find there Intelligent Tango, reconstruct your posture, smoothen out your walks and ochos, and make tango a second nature. I hope to see you soon.